Hi and welcome to another flight with me, Mark Larsen. This flight will take us from Stockholm Arlanda to Malmö Sturup. Estimated flight time will be about 52 minutes. As you can see, we have pretty good weather here in Stockholm. I'm gonna show you, as usual, how to prepare the aircraft for departure and the whole entire flight. So, see you in the cockpit. Okay, welcome to the cockpit. As you can see here, it's totally black, it's totally shut down. So I'm gonna go through all the steps to show you how to get the plane ready. So the first thing is to press the battery switch. Now the aircraft is getting the electricity from the battery. So if I'm not connecting the ground power unit in a few seconds, an alarm will go off. So I'm gonna press the ground power to on and emergency exit lights to armed, and then I'm gonna set the IRSs to nav, so press twice like so, and it should set aligned and aligned. Yes. Okay, so I will be using FS to crew, so I'm gonna set it up right now.
Let's start setting up.
Okay.
Okay, so here we have the FS to crew. I've just pressed the HM, that stands for hard mute, so I can talk to you guys without interfering with the first officer. So as you can see here on the FMC or FMS, enter IRS position. So I'm gonna press pause init, then next page, then that one, so paste it so, or copy it so it goes down here, then go back and then paste it into here. Okay, so I'm gonna put in the route. So we're gonna fly from Stockholm to Malmö. Our flight number will be 4051 Bravo. And now, as you can see here, pre-flight electric. So the first officer is going through all the electrics for the pre-flight. Today we have a little bit of ATC. Currently we have Stockholm control and Sweden control. So the first thing now, I'm gonna listen to the ATIS. So I'm gonna put in the right frequency, and it's 119.0.
Arlanda 80 done. Arlanda 80 done. Time 1350 hours. Approach runway 01 left. Transition level 50. Departure runway 08. Electrical wind 020 degrees 13 knots. Variable between 340 and 050 degrees. Cabotage.
Okay, so there was the ATIS. As you heard, we have information Charlie. The transition level is 50. And we will be taking off on runway 08, and the QNH is 1022. So I'm gonna set the QNH 1022. I'm gonna let this guy
I'm just out for the walk around.
go outside, like so. So now I can set up the FMS or FMC. So the runway will be 08, and we will be flying via Nosli, November 850, Rasmus. Okay. our departure will be runway 08 and mostly for Lima. Hopefully he can make us do a right turn, so we need to listen carefully when we're getting our clearance. So execute. I'm gonna put in the arrival runway as well, so it will be runway 35 and RASP 3 Foxtrot. Okay, so I'm just gonna see how heavy. 65.3 and enter 65.3. Reserves 2 tons. Cost index 15. Gonna fly on flight level 320. Gonna check the wind. 283 by 22. Okay, so we have an ESSA deviation of 3 and the trans altitude is correct. We will be using 99.4 because runway 08 is pretty short. 5 flaps. Trim it will be 5.89 like so. And here we have our V1, VR and V2. Change that to 175 knots like so. Okay, so I'm gonna ask for the clearance from the tower, or sorry, from the Stockholm control. So I'm gonna put in the right frequency, 126 decimal 65. Okay, let's see here. Stockholm Control, good eftermiddag. North Shuttle 51 November with you with information Charlie, QNH 1022. Request IFR clearance to Malmö Sturup.
Hey, I'm back from the walk around. Everything's looking good.
North Shuttle 51 November, Stockholm approved, clearance to Malmö Sturup, Digley, correction right turn, Digley 2 Romeo departure, squawk 5030.
Clear to Malmö Sturup as well via Digley 2 Romeo right turn, departure squawk 5030, North Shuttle 51 November.
North Shuttle 51 November, correct.
Okay, so as I expected, we got a right turn. So I'm gonna change our departure to 08 and Digley to Romeo. So as you can see here, instead of the left turn, we're gonna do a right turn. So I'm gonna execute like so, and I have to do all the takeoff speeds again and make a little change on our speed like so.
Hi, Captain. May we start boarding now?
Yes.
Great.
Okay, so I'm gonna put in the right speeds here. So it's 147. I'm gonna put in the 071. That's the heading of the runway. And 5,000 feet. Because if the Stockholm control or clearance doesn't give you an altitude, it's the flight it's the transition altitude, so it's 5,000 feet. Okay, so everything looks great here. I'm gonna set the course to our first waypoint, which is Digley 205. Like so. And I'm gonna arm the LNAV. Okay, so now we're just waiting for our first officer to say that he's ready for the pre-flight.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Sink rate. Pull up. Terrain. Pull up. Don't sink. Don't sink.
As you can see, it's a pretty nice aircraft.
Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps.
Not much for me to
Too
do
low.
here
Terrain.
right
Glide
now.
slopes.
I'm gonna get back to you
Bank
when
angle,
it's time
bank
for the
angle.
pre-flight checklist.
Minimum.
Okay, so we're now ready for the pre-flight checklist, so I'm gonna go through it right now. Pre-flight checklist.
Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Instrument transfer and display switches.
Normal auto.
Window heat.
On.
Pressurization and mode selector.
Set.
Flight instruments.
Checked.
Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off. Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Okay, so there was the pre-flight. So actually I'm gonna go through the departure brief. Are you ready for the departure brief?
I'm ready for the brief.
Okay, we'll be taking off from runway 08, Digley to Romeo departure. We'll be using flaps 5. Anti-ice will not be required, and it will be a standard procedure, noise abatement 1. The weather for the takeoff looks good, and we can have a little bit of rain coming into Malmö Sturup, but I don't think it will be any problems. Any questions?
No questions.
Departure brief complete. Okay, so that was the departure brief. So I think we're soon ready to go. We're still boarding the aircraft, you can still hear it. And we are waiting for... I'm gonna set the clock to 5. Just gonna wait for this guy to come in.
Hello, Captain. The passenger boarding is complete, and when you're ready, I have the load seat for you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a safe flight.
Start the APU.
Starting the APU.
Okay, so now we're starting an external engine, or it's inside the aircraft, but it's external power unit. So when we disconnect the electricity, we still have some power in the aircraft. So I can show you outside. I can show you the exhaust there. Okay, so as you can see here, the APU gen has illuminated. APU on the bus.
APU going on the bus.
So as you can see here, so now I'm gonna go talk to ground, so he can turn off the one thing that I've forgotten. We're gonna set the transponder code to 5030, like so. Now I'm gonna talk to the ground.
Canadian 879, runway 0 exit to takeoff. Winds 020 degrees, 13 knots.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
You can disconnect the external air and GPU now.
Roger that.
As you can see, it's not illuminated anymore. So it's off. So now we're using the APU. So
Okay, external air and power removed. You're clear to start number 2.
okay, thank you. So we're now actually losing fuel. So we need to be pretty quick here.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is ready to go.
Okay, thank you.
If you need anything, just let me know.
Yes. Okay, so the doors are shut, so we're gonna go through before start procedures.
Check.
So now the jetway is gonna disconnect, and the truck will help us to push back.
I'm ready for the checklist when you are.
Before start checklist.
Flight deck door.
Closed and locked.
Fuel.
Set.
Passenger signs.
Canadian 879ers,
Windows.
6254.
Locked.
MCP.
Speed 147. Heading 071. Altitude 5000.
Takeoff speeds.
V1 135. VR 137. V2 147.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Okay, hold on.
Completed.
Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Anti-collision light.
On.
Before start checklist complete.
Okay.
Check.
Please release parking brakes.
Cabin crew arm slides. Okay, so I'm now gonna ask for the pushback and startup clearance. Just gonna mute him. Just gonna see which stand we're at. 37. Stockholm Control, North Shuttle 51 November with you at stand 37. Request push and start.
51 November push approved. And store stations, I'm sure.
Push approved, and I will stand by for the startup clearance. North Shuttle 51 November. Okay, so we got our pushback clearance. So I'm gonna release the parking brake.
Okay, starting pushback.
Start sequence is 2, then 1.
Check.
Left is clear, right is clear. Okay to start engines.
Okay, so I got the clearance from the ground crew, but not from the ATC. So I need to hold the engine start. That's a pretty nice picture there.
Position, please set parking brakes.
Parking brake set. So now I'm just waiting for the ATC to give us clearance for start of the engines.
Stockholm Control back.
Stockholm Control, North Shuttle 51 November, request engine start.
North Shuttle 51 November, push and start approved, and I suppose Sweden already gave you a clearance start was approved, so you only need to request pushback for next time.
Okay, thank you. I will remember that till next time. North Shuttle 51 November. I don't know why exactly he said that, because he gave me the pushback clearance, but
Stockholm Control, good evening, services Scandinavian
I don't know.
716.
But I'm gonna start the
requesting
engines right now,
clearance
so
to Helsinki flight
start
level
engine number 2.
250, information Bravo.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Level 716, Stockholm Control, clear to Helsinki Vantaa North L2, Lima departure, scope 5060, to H1.
Start engine number 2. Ah, I forgot to the hard mute. Start engine number 2.
Starting number 2.
Setup approved and cleared to Helsinki via North L2, Lima departure, TNH 1022. And can you repeat scope, please? Scandinavian 716.
So now I'm gonna wait for the end to get up to 25%.
5060. Score 5060, Scandinavian 716.
Okay, there. So
Level 716, is that correct?
You are clear for taxi. Please wait for my hand signal on the right hand side. Goodbye.
okay, thank you. See you later.
Starter cutout.
Start engine number 1.
Starting number 1.
Okay, so the same thing here. Wait till the end to get up to 25%. Like so. Okay, so we're now ready to go.
Starter cutout.
So now I'm gonna set the flaps. So flaps 5.
Check.
Okay, so there's the ground crew waiting for us to give the clearance to taxi.
Takeoff flaps set.
Okay, so now the only thing left is before taxi.
I'm ready for the checklist when you are.
Before taxi checklist.
Generators.
On.
Repeat.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Isolation valves.
Auto.
Engine start switches.
Continuous. Continuous.
Recall.
Checked.
Water brake.
RTO.
Engine start levers.
Idle detent. Idle detent.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Ground equipment.
Clear.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Okay, so we're now ready. Gonna ask for the taxi clearance. Stockholm Control, North Shuttle 51 November, request taxi.
North Shuttle 51 November, taxi to holding point runway 08.
Taxi to holding point runway 08, North Shuttle 51 November. Okay. Clear on the left.
Clear right.
Okay, so now we're good. So I'm gonna release the parking brake, and he's gonna wave at us. Bye bye. Okay. So I'm gonna slowly advance the throttles. I'm gonna press this button here. A real security sound.
Hello.
I'm just gonna ignore that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Norwegian. Please may we have your attention while we demonstrate the safety features of this Boeing 737-800 aircraft. To avoid blocking
Okay, so we're gonna taxi to
please
runway
stow
08.
your luggage in the overhead locker or beneath the seat in front of you. If you are seated in the front row or the row next to the overwing exits, please keep these areas clear at all times. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the flat metal tip into the buckle and tighten by pulling the strap. To unfasten, lift the flap and pull the ends apart. If there is a drop in cabin pressure, oxygen masks will deploy from a panel above your head. Remain seated and pull the mask down towards you to activate
Hello,
the
flight
flow
deck.
of oxygen. Place the mask over
Great,
your
thank you.
nose and mouth.
Captain, the cabin is secure.
Okay, thank you.
Adjust the mask by tightening the elastic band. Secure your own mask first before assisting your child, infant or others. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft, 2 at the back, 2 at the front and 4 exits over the wings. To open the overwing exit, hold the red handle down and leave the aircraft by sliding down the rear of the wing. To open the front and rear exit doors, pull the lever in the direction of the arrow. Escape slides will deploy from the base of all front and rear exit doors. If a slide fails to deploy, pull the handle to inflate the slide. Leave the aircraft by folding your arms across your
Before
chest.
takeoff checklist.
Onto the
Flaps.
in a sitting position.
Set.
If there is a
Stabilizer
oxygen
trim.
drop,
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Whoa. Okay.
Your
Check.
life jacket is under your seat. In the
Cabin
unlikely
crew,
event that
take
the
your
aircraft
seats.
lands on water, remove the life jacket from its pouch and place the jacket over your head.
Continuing
Secure the strap around your waist
76
and
at
tighten
Gate 12
by pulling
for
the strap.
request pushback.
Inflate the life jacket at the exit by pulling
And then
the
716 push approve.
slightly downwards. The life jacket can also be inflated by blowing into the red tubes on the front of the jacket. A light is provided for attracting attention. If a life jacket is worn by a small child, pull one tab only to inflate the jacket. Smoking is not permitted.
So we're gonna make a left turn here.
Passengers are advised that smoke detectors are installed in all the toilets.
Nice and easy.
Devices containing transmitters and receivers is not permitted, as they may interfere with aircraft systems. If your device has a flight mode, please activate it now. All other electronic equipment must be switched off when the fasten seatbelt sign is lit. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now preparing for takeoff. Please ensure that your tray table is stowed, your seatbelt is securely fastened, your seat back is in the upright position with the armrest down, and your window...
North Shuttle 51 November on
All
0
safety
exit to
information
take
is
off with
shown on
visit
the
0 degrees 17 knots.
located in your seat pocket.
Clear for takeoff runway 08, North Shuttle 51 November. Runway entry procedures.
Check.
Okay, so we're now ready to go.
Ready to go.
Check.
Eager
so we're ready to
Erik
go.
Halletorre, Stockholm.
So we're ready to go. Takeoff. Takeoff.
Check.
Eager Tore,
Tåga.
för installation 5061.
Okay. So we're on our way.
Thrust set.
Check.
80 knots.
Check.
Stiger Tore aktiverar
Rotate.
72, planet 5 5.
Positive right.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Och Stiger Tore, snabb synpunkt bara på din färdplan. Önskvärt vore om du kunde nästa gång flyga med
Select VNAV.
som är en punkt någonstans på vägen. Eller
Gear up, keep the lights out.
underlättar.
Flaps 2.
Flaps 2.
Ja, det kan vi göra nästa gång. Ja, men det blir perfekt.
Flaps up.
Flaps up. I'm ready for the checklist when you are.
Sweden control, North Shuttle 5. Sorry, Stockholm control, North Shuttle 51 November, climbing 3,200.
North Shuttle 51 November, Stockholm control, radar contact, climb flight level 180.
Climb flight level 180 on high speed approved, North Shuttle 51 November. Okay, so I'm gonna give us a noise. Set flight level 180.
North Shuttle 55 Express, Stockholm control, V5.
Flight level 180. Set.
Off takeoff checklist.
Engine bleeds on pads. Auto. Landing gear up and off. Flaps. Up, no lights.
North Shuttle 55 Express, starta förtroende till Malmö Sturup, lätt turn och before Lima departure 5054. QNH 1022.
Gonna change.
Before Lima departure, left turn 5004.
Oh, I don't have to do that now.
North Shuttle 55 Express is correct.
Transition altitude, altimeters 1013.
Check. Okay, so we're now on our way. We're climbing past 5,000 now. So I'm just deleting the speed restriction because we don't have any speed restriction.
Scanning ESSA 06, taxi point runway 08. Actually point runway 08, scanning 76.
Normally we're not allowed. We're not allowed over 250 knots below 10,000 feet because we got no speed restriction. We can go a lot faster.
Inventoriet Åre, då har du lämnat Stockholm kontroll och fått byta frekvensen och sen har du Sweden för trafikinformation 118,4. Hej Sveriges. Ja, tack. North Shuttle 51 November, contact Sweden for 118.
Flight level 100.
Contact Sweden on 118.4. Thank you for great service. See you next time, North Shuttle 51 November.
Here.
Set heading 204. Contact Sweden.
1 o'clock 5 miles report business back.
Heading 204. Set.
Sweden control, good eftermiddag, North.
Check.
Sweden control, good eftermiddag, North Shuttle 51 November with you at flight level 126, climbing to flight level 180.
North Shuttle 51 November, Sweden, radar contact. Foxtrot direkt på Sweden. Insight
Sierra Echo.
Foxtrot, Sierra Echo, report aircraft type.
Aircraft type is a Robin DR400. Sierra Echo.
Foxtrot, Sierra Echo, clear the approach, runway 17 in the right hand.
Clear to the approach, Sierra Echo, thank you.
No shuttle 51 November, transfer flight level 320 direct to Sturup.
Climb to flight level 320 and fly direct to Sturup, North Shuttle 51 November. Set flight level 320.
Sierra, screening control, Sierra Echo would like to know if runway 17 or 11.
Foxtrot, Sierra Echo, you can continue the pattern on the left downwind for runway 1, stand up.
Okay, downwind for runway 17, thank you very much, Fox Sierra Echo.
Okay, so it seems that the runway at Sturup Airport has changed, so I'm gonna change the airport in the FMC arrival page. So it's instead runway 17. So that's why he told me fly direct to Sturup, so I'm gonna fly direct to the runway. So as you can see, we have 249 nautical miles to the runway. Set heading 210.
Heading 210, set.
Okay, so I'm gonna get back to you when we are approaching our top of descent. Okay, so we're now approaching our top of descent. You can see here we are 40 nautical miles from our descent, or top of descent. So I'm gonna show you. We're gonna go into the forecast page. We're gonna enter a few things here. We're gonna enter our flight levels, 300, 200, 100. We're gonna put in the ESSA deviation. It's 3 and our QNH of our destination is 1022.
No shuttle 558 Sweden, radar contact flight direct to Sturup V1.
Direct to VR,
279 plus 38. 279 degrees, 29 knots. And then lower, 141. The reason for doing this is that the computer, we help the computer to calculate our top of descent point. So we can see here, top of descent here, if I press execute, calculate, and it's the same place, but it could be different.
No, shuttle 558 ready cloud, flight level 410.
Contact OK for 2, contact.
So everything looks good here for now. Gonna get back to you when we are approaching our descent. Okay, so we're about 15 nautical miles, and I'm gonna ask for the descent clearance. Sweden Control, North Shuttle 51 November, request descent.
North Shuttle 51 November, descent flight level 100. You can expect radar vectors for left runway 17.
Descent to flight level 100, and I can expect a direct approach for ILS runway 17. North Shuttle 51 November. Okay, so we got our clearance. Set flight level 100.
Thank you.
So as you can see here, it's turning the knob to 100.
Flight level 100 set.
Thank you. I'm gonna put in the decision height, will be 250. So. And I also set in the QNH, and it's still 1022. When it says STD standard, it's because we're over the trans altitude or trans level, so the standard is 1013. As you can see now, the engines will slowly go down to idle, and it says retard. I don't think I'm a retard, but plane says that because the engines or the throttles is going back to idle. So as soon as it gets idle, it's gonna say armed or arm. See, arm. So now we have begun our descent.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the flight deck, we've just commenced our descent, so we'd appreciate it if you do what we do up here, which is remain in your seats. Thank you.
Okay, so we are on our way down. So it's not much for you to see here, it's pretty uneventful. So I'll get back to you when I'm getting closer to flight level 100. Okay, as you can see, we're just passing flight level 200. We're gonna go through the landing or approach checklist. I thought you might want to hear that. So it's vectoring to 50. Are you ready for the approach brief?
I'm ready for the brief.
Okay, we'll be vectored for runway ILS 17. The runway condition is dry. Anti-ice is not required today. We'll be using flaps 30. Outer brake will be set to 2. Engine bleeds will be on, and decision height is 250 feet. Any questions?
No questions.
Approach brief complete. Okay, if I'm just gonna take a quick look at the weather here. Oh, it's clear skies. It looks like it has been a lot of rain, but apparently not. Just some small showers, but now it's pretty good. It's 18 degrees Celsius. Because I have a little bit of trouble with the ILS on Malmö, so I'm gonna manually land. So don't look at the ILS because it won't align correctly. Either way, I'm gonna put in the ILS frequency. Maybe it's fixed now, I don't know, but I don't think so. so it says here 111.90, so that's what I put in, and our approach ref is 146, and plus 5. We should always try to have 5 extra knots, so that will be 151. See, I said 52 minutes. I'm gonna see if that's correct. We have been flying now for 37. We will be landing 15 minutes, 16 minutes. So, maybe 53 minutes, so that's pretty close. As you can see, we're flying in a headwind of 18 knots. That's not pretty much, but it changes our descent speed a little bit. So for now we're descending at 1,400 feet per minute. Gonna go through the
launch up in 558, they send the message to flight 7100, they direct us back at 17.
Descent checklist.
Pressurization. Landing altitude 2,000 feet. Recall. Check. Water rate. Level 2. Landing data. VREF 146. Minimums 250 feet. Approach briefing completed. Descent checklist complete.
Okay, so we're now approaching flight level 100. Actually, it's lovely conditions at Malmö Sturup. Only 4 knots of wind, and it's coming from 150 degrees, so it's almost straight into our faces when we're landing, so it should be a pretty good landing. Pretty good view.
North Shuttle 51 November, flight level 60.
Descent to flight level 60, North Shuttle 51 November. Set flight level 60.
North Shuttle 51 November, information Romeo landing.
Information Romeo is valid, North Shuttle 51 November. As you can see, he changed to flight level 60.
Flight level 70.
Descent to flight level 70, North Shuttle 51 November. Set flight level 70.
Flight level 70 set.
So our runway heading is 171, so I can put it in here. 471. The same on that side. The reason why the aircraft is leveling it out at 10,000, it's because there is a speed restriction of 250 knots, so it's trying to slow down to 240 knots before entering flight level 100. So that's why.
Shuttle 5 on runway, turn right into 47, contact 5 left, runway 17.
Turn right heading 240 and expect runway 1 ILS runway 17, North Shuttle 51 November. Okay, so we're now passing 10,000.
Flight level 100.
Check.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Okay, so everything looks good here. I'll get back to you when I'm passing 6,000. Okay, we're back a little bit early. I thought you might want to see the whole approach, so...
North Shuttle 5 on runway 5,000 feet, QNH 1022, high speed 2.
Descend to 5,000 feet, local QNH 1022, and high speed approved, North Shuttle 51 November. Descend to 5,000 feet, and the QNH is 1022, as we already put in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be arriving at our destination shortly. If you're making a connecting flight, please keep the customer service.
As you can see here, we're coming in a little bit from the right. Or we're coming from the left, but we're gonna make a left turn into the ILS.
North Shuttle 5 on runway, turn left into 10.
Turn left heading 210, North Shuttle 51 November.
Turn off all electronic devices, though these devices within your locker carrier. Please use caution when opening the overhead bin, as items may have fixings to it. Please stow your tray tables, certain things to their upright position and keep it secure to everything.
So I'm gonna actually use the speed intervene to slow us down a little bit to 225.
North Shuttle 5 on runway 26 backmark to and 2,500 feet.
Descend to 2,500 feet, North Shuttle 51 November. Okay, so we got our clearance to 2,500 feet. Everything looks good. We are approaching our trans altitude.
Hello, flight deck. Great, thank you. Captain, the cabin is secure.
Okay, thank you.
North Shuttle 5 on November, turn right in 190, stay ready for approach runway 17.
Did you say turn right heading 190? I'm turning left 190. Clear for the ILS approach runway 17, North Shuttle 51 November.
Ja, jag menar det.
Transition level.
Altimeters 1022.
Altimeters 1022.
Approach checklist.
Altimeters 1022.
Set.
Approach checklist complete.
Okay. So we got our clearance for the runway. I'm gonna arm the Volak so it can find the runway, but I will manually control the height. We don't have a visual yet on the runway, I think. Nope. So we're gonna slow down to 200.
Localizer alive.
Check.
$1,000 to go.
Check. Okay, now we have the runway in sight. You can see it over there. So I'm gonna change the rate of descent. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1. Cabin crew, take your seats.
I'm going to show you the runway. There we have the runway. Okay, so just for fun, I'm gonna manually fly the airplane now. Flaps 2.
Flaps 2.
You see here?
Slope alive.
Check.
No shuttle.
So now we're at the localizer.
Mission room.
We have a little bit of wind.
No shuttle 5 on November, runway 21, clear land, 110
I think you mean runway 17, so clear to land runway 17, North Shuttle 51 November. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Landing checklist.
Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Standing by for the flaps.
Flaps 15.
Flaps 15.
So I'm setting the go round a little bit too low, but it's alright.
1 light slow.
So now I'm controlling the speed. Flaps 25. Flaps 25.
Flaps 25.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30. Flaps 30. Green light. Landing checklist complete.
Check.
500 feet.
Check. Landing.
Also, 5 approaching 7,000 feet, and should you give me some radar vectors for runway 17?
Yeah, no, just tell the firefighter for the back off the
Okay.
5,000 feet.
Sync rate.
You can send
Approaching
5,000
minimums.
feet on QNH1.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Minimums. Speed race up.
Check.
Reverse green.
Check.
$60 knots.
Manual braking.
Check.
North 5 on November around 39 taxi at Bravo Yankee. Roll it down number 1.
You're breaking up a little bit. Can you please repeat for North Shuttle 5 on November?
North Shuttle 5 on November on ground 39 taxi at Yankee. Roll it down number 1.
Taxi via Yankee and Charlie to standard number 1 in North Shuttle 5-1 November.
North Shuttle 5-5 X-ray, turn left and turn right into towards 0, crossing vector for ILS runway 17.
Right, heading to first, clear left runway 17.
Okay, so there you have it. A little bit of rough landing, but
fly heading towards 0, not
I think it came up pretty well.
Right, heading to first, and call the wind on the
APU is online.
Check. We're not going to use the APU today because this is our final flight, so I'm going to turn off the APU.
North Shuttle 5 X-ray, turn left heading to 10 and 3000.
Left heading to 10 3000 feet, North Shuttle 5 X-ray.
Confirm right heading between left heading 210 and North 5 X-ray. Left heading 210. Okay, left heading 210.
Okay, so we're gonna go for stand number 1. So he said Yankee in Charlie, so it's not here. Because this is Delta. So I'm gonna slow down a little bit. So there is another plane coming from North Shuttle as well. I don't think it's visual yet, but
North Shuttle 55 X-ray, then 2500 feet, right heading 260. Right heading 260, and 260 North Shuttle 55 X-ray.
select taxi light off. Overshot the turn a little bit, but it's alright, I can correct it.
North Shuttle 55 X-ray, turn left heading 200, Sierra approach runway 17. Left heading 200, Sierra left runway 17, North Shuttle 5.
Okay, so now we're gonna turn off, so just gonna make...
Ready for shutdown.
Shutdown engine number 2.
Check.
So now I'm gonna just plug in the... like so, the ground power. So now, shutdown engine number 1. Shutdown engine number 1.
Check.
Okay. So now we are at the gate. You see here? Yes.
Captain, all flights are disarmed.
Okay, thank you.
North Shuttle 55 X-ray, establish runway 17. North Shuttle 55 X-ray, continue approach. Continue first, North Shuttle 55 X-ray.
Shutdown checklist.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Pro P.
Off.
Hydraulic panel.
Set.
Flaps.
Up.
Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Weather radar.
Off.
Shutdown checklist complete.
Okay. So normally the plane would deboard because I don't have the scenery, or so I can't use some real boarding or deboarding sounds. So I'm going to show you the securing aircraft. Secure the aircraft, please.
Stand by.
So we turned the IRSs to off.
Norwegian 55X.
I'm ready for the checklist when you are.
150, we all up.
Copy, Winkler, runway 17.
Secure aircraft checklist.
IRSs off. Emergency exit lights off. Window heat off. Packs off. Securing aircraft checklist complete.
Okay, so that's all. I'm just gonna say thank you to the ATC. Sweden Control, North Shuttle 5-1 November. I'd like to say thank you and see you next time. Hej då!
Hej då!
Okay, so now all I have to do is to turn off the ground power and then the battery switch. So everything is back to where it was when we began. Like to say thank you for following me on this flight, and there will be a lot of more of these flights, so just stay tuned and hope you have a good day. Thank you, bye bye.